Sometimes we look at leadership, and I've asked, what does a Jesus shape look like that is still authentic to the different personality types that we're all given? And I've discovered there will be some who will be the extroverted type, who what I call a loud and large and in charge, that type, and there's a place for that. We need that. It's a beautiful thing when it's done well and done right with humility and service. But I've also recognised that there's other leaders that are equally competent, equally effective, but they're not loud, they're quiet. They're not large in personality, but they're deeply influential. It's the sort of person who doesn't draw attention to themselves, but you just happen to notice that when they do something, it stays done. The story of the early church in the New Testament, it's in a book called The Acts of the Apostles. There's a story of two church leaders, and one's a very well-known Paul. He wrote many of the letters that we have in our New Testament. So then you've got Barnabas. Now, Paul seems to be a loud and large and in charge type of character, strong personality, really knows his own mind, doesn't suffer fools easily. But then you've got Barnabas, and he's more of the quietly influential leader. And there's this really intriguing moment because I'm reminded it was Barnabas who had the big heart. So when Paul became a Christian, he had been a persecutor of Christians. But it was Barnabas, he's the guy who brings him in, who welcomes him. Everyone was very cautious about Paul, but it was Barnabas who was willing to take the risk on Paul and bring him into the fold. I think God has called everyone to lead to some degree, and you don't need to be the loud, large, extroverted, strong personality. You can be that, but you can also be the quietly influential, equally competent, huge capacity person as well. And you've all got a place and you've all got a part to play in God's wonderful church that He's building.